What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action. Spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Gaia. His name is Matador. Matador in the flesh. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is TheRapl. We are back, and this time in stereo. Well, actually, no, I think we might still be in mono. No, I've got two bars over there. It's definitely stereo, even if it's just one. No, I don't know. Nonetheless, we've got Rapple playing Zeus. We've got Matador playing Gaia. We're on the map Giza. There's relics on the map. Let's take a quick look. We've got Dwarven Horseshoes. That's going to be a really big one, even if it did get nerfed. So I'm going to, oh god, I have to redo my tier list. 5% move speed on your cavalry is still going to be a must grab. Going down from 10% down to 5%, going from 10% down to 5% might seem like a lot, but in the end of the day, it's still free stats. Your opponent is not going to be able to catch up to you. It's always going to be, even if it was 1%, it's always going to be a very, very useful relic to grab. 5% is still very, very good for those high-speed cavalry. Hestia's Hearthmean right here as well. Villagers training 5% faster is always nice as well. We've got the Bow of Artemis here with the ranged soldiers being reduced in their cost. And finally, we've got Svaddle Furry's Sledge over here. I myself am a big fan of this relic. I know lots of people, you know, that they say, well, if you like this relic, why don't you like, what's it called? The favorite generation relic, right? Ankh of Ra. And I say to you, well, this relic means I don't need to plan. This relic means I don't have to have any favor. It's particularly good for Greek. I don't have to plan. I just go, oh, I have the relic. It doesn't matter if I've got favor or not. I'm ready to just spam those migdols, spam those fortresses, spam those palaces, spam those hill forts down. And I'm not going to accidentally spend that favor elsewhere because, why not? So it's just, I'm going to have it. And one thing I know with Zeus is, Zeus has got that new and improved or changed or whatever Argive patronage. Right? Argive patronage is going to be a thing here in this game that Rapple's going to have access to. So he's going to be able to spam out fortresses like no man's business if he goes and grabs that relic, and he's going to be able to get a ton of free Myrmidon out. But we'll see what he's going to prioritize here. The Jason's going to be moving across the map to try and pick up Bow of Artemis. The Oracle here for Matador is sitting, waiting, watching, and is too slow. Too slow. He wanted the relic, I understand, because he really wants to build those Terma, but he's going to have to retreat all the way back. Let's take another look at the perspective of each player and see what they've seen. Looks like the relics on this left-hand corner of the map, very, very important for Matador, has not been spotted just yet. Rapple as well hasn't gone and looked over there just yet either. His Katoskopos is coming in to get a little bit of harassment in. And actually, this is really, really big. With good micro here, which Rapple is going to be doing, he is definitely one of the best players at doing this sort of thing. He's going to be able to pick off this Oracle. Now, the one thing that is, with all of this micro that Rapple misses out on, is he just misses out on a little bit of efficiency in the main base. He's overgathered on gold ever so slightly, and he's going to, it's not a big deal at all, but he's going to be a little bit slower to getting this town center up, though he gets the Oracle kill secured, which is really, really big, nice and early in this one as the Katoskopos now. I'm going to scout out onto the left side of the map. One thing you're going to notice with Rapple, and I'll be tracking it a little bit, is how active he is with this scout. How active he's going to be with the Pegasus. He wants to know what you're doing at all points so that he can set himself up to have the absolute best chance to defend against it. This is effectively Greek's advantage in a nutshell, right? For those of you who are struggling with Greek, struggling to deal with what your opponent's throwing at you, you've got a Pegasus, you've got a Katoskopos. They're both really, really good at this. Obviously, Atlantean's got Caladria, which are also really good, but the Katoskopos and the Pegasus, very, very good. And you can see this this scout here just going to be confirming. Like, he can guess, he can look at the score and say, hey, you had a bit of a score drop here, Mr. Matador. But he says, I'm going to confirm. Let me just check. And boom, town center. Lots of citizens on it. It's very, very hard to stop a town center from going up. For Gaia and Atlantean in general, they can just put on 4 citizens, 5 citizens, and there's very little you can do to stop it, especially when you go for your own fast second town center. As Jason's still holding this relic in his clutches, definitely should be putting it back in, as he does decide to now that the town center is safe from any sort of carnivora harassment. And the scout is back into the main base here, searching for something which El Matador is doing. He needs to know, what are you doing? Are you going for Turbo? Are you going for Mamilo? Are you going to fast heroic? Are you going to do X? Are you going to do Y? Now, if you know that you're playing as a player who is this hell-bent, to some degree, on getting information, this allows you to do some tricky things. You can say, let me show you a military barracks. Let me show you an armory. And then do something completely different. So here's the military barracks. Katoskopos comes in, spots it, confirms, okay, go Mamilo, no worries. And then maybe you hide an armory over in this corner. Over in this corner, and you fast heroic, and then you go, oh, hang on, he's actually going for Contarius, and all of a sudden the archers, which TheRapl might build, are going to be wrong. But you can still see he's still trying to poke in, getting all of that knowledge. Over on this side, you're also seeing El Matador doing the same. So it's not like this is just in aspect for an aspect that TheRapl is good at. I mean, both players here are going to be doing this very, very nicely. As the military academy is up, looks like TheRapl says, hey, I see the military barracks. I know you can build Mamilo. I know you can go for Contari, so I'm going to effectively just say, well, I'm playing Zeus, so let me go for the counter of both of them to some degree. Hoplites don't really counter Mamilo. They actually lose versus the Bite of the Shark Mamilo, but, you know, he's going to be able to at least trade somewhat nicely if you get that upgrade for them. This one here, Sarissa, you can do okay. It's pretty close, and you can also then go into a pacifist. So there's lots and lots of different options here for the TheRapl to go for. Military Academy comes up, nice little wall. The scout going to be just having a little break. He's been very busy early on, and we do indeed see a market. So a little bit of mind games, a little bit of, are you building units? Are you building units? I'm not building units. Okay, well, that's fine. I don't care. So both players are playing this mind game, and TheRapl, I wouldn't say he's actually like ahead of the mind game, so to speak. He manages to get to the next age, but what El Matador is doing here, I actually prefer a little bit more. He's grabbing those early upgrades. There's no real rush here for El Matador to get to the next stage. Funnily enough, almost the accurate way to play in Age of Mythology is to just wait until your opponent commits to some units and then say, okay, now let's counter those. So once he sees the units, he can start building the counters. And, well, there's no real problem with just getting economic upgrades and getting yourself in a position to have a huge economic edge. As we see Thea coming through, and it's going to be Dionysus first Thea. All the upgrades are going to come in, and both players are going to be having a good time. Look at this little armory, walls. Very, very defensive play here from TheRapl. He knows that one weakness for Greek against Gaia is going to be Contarius raids. So how do you deal with Contarius raids? Well, you slow them down. Toskopos gets picked off, but you slow them down, and you're going to be able to sort of defend everything. As the Hydra now out on this position, going to be moving across the map here, looking for a little something to attack. But, yep, 3 military barracks at the moment, and we will be seeing Hoplite, Hypaspist coming through. Now, the simple answer to Hoplite Hypaspist is going to be Mass Arcus, but then your opponent or the Zeus player will probably go into Peltas, so then you have to start wondering, well, how am I going to deal with that? As a little bit of engagement now coming in, and look at this creep spread. I'm calling it creep because, I mean, it's creep, but look at this Lush spread from El Matador. The Caladriac is going to heal up units. It's very, very hard to take these fights. I mean, you look at this, is 9 minutes 48 seconds in. I know a lot of players out there are going to be like, "How are you 9 minutes 50 seconds in, and only now we're having our first engagement?" But you know, this is the top level. This is how players are choosing to play because they feel like this gives them their best advantage. Whether it does or not, you know, that is up to the game in question, and a whole bunch of different things the decisions there. As a mana gets taken down, economic guild goes down, the infantry going to get some good value. We're actually seeing the Dionysia upgrade coming in, going to be boosting all of his units by 5%. I believe that also affects the villagers, which have already got themselves survival equipment. Let's take a quick look. Does this get another 5 HP or so? It would be like 2.5 HP or something. No, it's not in yet. A little bit of a bolt there onto this Family Bet, and it does. There it is, up to 72. That's really, really nice. But the Dryad's now coming in, and funnily enough, this Murmillo Dryad army, it's really tough to deal with for the Greek player because he's building these Hypaspis. The idea is to take out the Murmillo. The Hoplites are there to just in case there's Contarius. But the Dryads are there just causing problems as the Minotaur is not going to get out of here. TheRapl recognizes that, turns around, smacks those Murmillo away. Minotaur is down. Now we see the channels, Arcus, Murmillo coming through onto this position. Mana getting cleaned up. I really like the way that TheRapl is sort of containing El Matador, slowing the expansion down. In a way, TheRapl kind of knows that the game plan against Gaia, for the most part, is to just say, I know that Gaia's economy is going to be huge as the army coming through here. And he says, well, I'm just going to allow the game to come to me and just try and hold. If I can hold it, I can secure enough gold mines to survive, then he's going to have the stronger army in the late game is the idea. Now, practically speaking, I think that Zeus does have the stronger army, but in terms of how the games normally end up, I would say that Gaia is perfectly fine taking this game late game. Gaia can make Fanatics. Gaia can make Super Dryads. Gaia can make those Lampedes as well. They're really, really good at like taking down high-value units like Myrmidon. So I don't think El Matador is going to be super unhappy about taking this game a little bit slower, but he will be wanting to secure as many gold mines as he can. Both players at the moment only really have 2 gold mines secured. Over here we have this one. Over here we have this one. TheRapl's got these 2 over here. So if you can get in and secure this one and this one, whoever gets these 2 is going to have a really, really good time. Otherwise, it's just going to have to be trade situation, which if El Matador sets up his Lush trade route, gets the 5.2 speed llama caravans on that highway, he's going to have a lot more gold income. So he can take a little bit less efficient trades. As the army coming through, we've got the Carnivora coming in. Bronze gets dropped down, and El Matador says, all right, Bronze is in. I will retreat back along my highway. All my units up to 4.6 speed on an Arcus. Are you kidding me? That is a speedy Arcus here. And TheRapl is going to take this opportunity now to look into trying killing off this town center or pushing in onto this gold mine or getting some economic value here or damage here, as the Bronze is still got 20 seconds remaining. But I would guess El Matador, he can just pull back into this, keep running around in circles, pull his villagers off of this position, no problems. And then once the Bronze is over, he will be able to turn around and take a decent fight here. He's got that ballistics upgrade. Heavy range soldier is going to be coming in as well. Unfortunately, pushing himself off of the Gaia Lush. He's not going to want to fight here, but he's just going to pull back up to his town center. We see some Peltas coming in as well as the Arcus on the backside getting cleaned up. This is a really, really nice position here for TheRapl as a cheeky little Gaia Forest going to get dropped down. El Matador pulling back up onto the town center, and there he decides it's time to take the fight. The restoration, however, coming down for TheRapl. The push is not over just yet. Town center getting some good damage done. Dryads going down over here. And the army here for El Matador has seemingly been dealt with after that first restoration. Now, restoration was nerfed. It's up to 100 favor for a second cast already. But town center going to go down. El Matador going to lose that army kind of almost regardless. So he has to be planning for it. If we take a look at his actual military production, he's got 8 buildings here. He's got the production to reproduce units, but TheRapl is in a commanding position thus far. We are seeing him pushing into the middle of the map looking for raids. There's villagers over here. 2 citizen and the villagers going to be sharing that gold mine for the time being here. But buildings are going to go down really, really quickly here from those infantry units. Even the Hypaspis have that bonus versus buildings as well, so they can deal with those buildings relatively quickly. As the Dryads going down on this position. You see a hero Arcus coming through for El Matador. A couple more hero Arcus going to be coming through as the Dryads swinging in to get some good damage done. Up onto this position, the Peltas looking around for villager kills and the like. That Hydra getting some serious damage done over here as well. But that's... Now the Hydra is going to get taken down. And all of the chaos now seemingly is over. Now on this right-hand corner, gold mine being secured. Left-hand corner, gold mine is 4,000 gold gathered. But El Matador is going to be wanting to push forward and try and get some trades while still in the heroic age. That seems to me to be somewhat the correct move. He doesn't have any Contarius in the army, which might be hurting him in a big way as the Peltas targeting down those Arcus over here. Nice micro from TheRapl. El Matador not really doing anything for it as a couple of Contarius do come through. The Peltas numbers are slowly starting to fall as El Matador is managing to find himself a little bit of an advantage now cooking as TheRapl not really having the production. He's got himself 7 military buildings, so kind of similar to El Matador's. Well, now El Matador's got 10, and El Matador does manage to push forward here and he's controlled this position. Now, I want to see a palace getting smacked down. I want to see this position getting really, really controlled by El Matador. Like I said, if El Matador can secure the extra gold mine, which is obviously he's going to have 2 more gold mines than his opponent, just 1, then he's in a big advantage. If he shares the gold mines, you know, then we're probably heading to a late game. If he loses the gold mines, then he's probably losing the game. So, you know, these are the things that are going to be in the back of your mind as a Gaia player, as economic guilds are continuing to get set up. They are very, very cheap. Only 39 resources. Yes, there's villager build time here. But this is really, really important. It's the big advantage of playing Gaia. As the hoplites getting cleaned up over here. Arcus coming in to snipe down some villagers on this position as well. Some villagers over here getting sniped. And the Arcus going to be retreating back. And all of a sudden, another restoration is in for the TheRapl, and El Matador will need to retreat back. Now, unfortunately, he hasn't gotten up that palace. It looks like, I mean, he's still pumping units. He doesn't have the town center up, so he is a little bit behind the TheRapl, but did he get fortified town centers? No. There's TheRapl? I feel like TheRapl's population should be a little bit higher. He might be missing a house somewhere. I could be wrong. Nonetheless. Hecate queued up. I really like Hecate. I think Hecate is probably 9 times out of 10 the correct play in this matchup. Now, implode to secure the map and get the gold mines could be an angle to find a victory, but Hecate is going to be able to say, hey, I need celerity, I need the mythic rejuvenation tech, and during the Tartarian gate, I'm going to try and push this position and grab this gold mine back for myself. Now, TheRapl, he's setting up his markets. You can see he's running out of gold over here. He's got about 6,000 left without this one being considered. But TheRapl knows if he can just secure this, there's no rush to get the market going. He can just start it slowly here. And we do see him deciding on Hephaestus for the minute here, which is an interesting one. It was buffed recently, right? So now it's giving 12 resources a second rather than 9 resources a second, which, to be honest, it's a big buff. Is it enough for Hephaestus? We'll have to wait and see. But Hecate, he changes it over to Hera. Not Hephaestus, going in on Hera. So the army here of El Matador will actually get taken out. But with the Tartarian gate being the base, that's going to be enough time there to distract TheRapl away and probably trade somewhat equally these god powers to get into the next stage of the game. Town Center coming back up yet again as El Matador knows he needs it. In fact, I'm still confused. El Matador is 5 population in front while being... 5 population in front while being... 1 town center behind. He does have fortified town centers, which does make up for a lot, but is TheRapl got a house foundation somewhere? Am I going crazy? I feel like I'm going crazy. 11? 12? You should have 16 houses? Okay, I'm just gonna pretend like I don't understand, and we'll just go with it because fortified town center, 160 plus 45. So that's right. He is. How are you on 210? Do you have the relic? Never mind. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's fine. It's correct apparently. Palace going down on this position as TheRapl is all over the place here. We've got the granary going down on this side. In the middle here, these units kind of can't... Well, they probably kind of can't take this fight, but they will be able to retreat quickly. As a raid coming over here, TheRapl reacting nicely. A little bit of chaos at this point in the game. As the mana's on this side going to be going down. Arcus getting some good damage done. Those Dryads can push up here and start raiding or attacking these units. If you can snipe down the Odysseus, the Dryad's going to be even better. Do we see those upgrades coming in straight away? Not just yet, but there is now time to push in and drop that Tartarian Gate. Dropping it onto the town center makes onto this take makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, just misses that one. Lightning Storm getting dropped down where? Honestly, I've got no idea. It's over here. So the units are getting sniped, but El Matador is kind of all over the map at the moment. But the hoplites are in onto the main base. Tartarian Gate here does have Masons. A couple of units to come in and help out. You don't want to be attacking the Tartarian spawn, though. That is not ideal. Generally speaking, just leave the Tartarian Gate as it is. And just say, okay, that's just time bought. Because all the units are now in the main base here for the TheRapl. And now all of a sudden... El Matador can come and grab this town center. He is getting his upgrades. There's that Champion Infantry, Prophetic Sight. We see Celerity, Mythic Rejuvenation, Champion Cavalry coming through. In the right-hand corner of the map, Metropolis is in trying to siege down this position. El Matador hasn't started his trade route. Now, he does have a little bit of gold left up this top position. He's got the trade... Oh, there he goes. He's starting the trade route now, but he hasn't set up the highway, as we do see a champion... Myrmidon coming through 16.2 divine damage, 11.6 divine damage. I was having a chat with people about which unit is like better population cost wise. It's kind of close, but the Myrmidon does have more advantage against more things than a hoplite. A hoplite's probably better against a whole bunch of cavalry units, but if it's infantry, if it's archers, if it's myth units, if it's siege, probably less so. Well, probably less so siege, but if it's any of the above, then the Myrmidon does actually come out on top. It is worth it to build it, but it is more expensive. But cost-wise, maybe the Hoplite performs a little bit better, but population-wise, the Myrmidon definitely on top, especially if you get upgrades by going through, like, Hephaestus, which we didn't see here. Does this give any bonuses? No. But now, El Matador... He has cleaned up a lot of stuff on this top position. However, the palace is going down, and that gold mine still has a little bit of gold left in it. Looks like El Matador is going to be okay for the time being to mine out this gold mine and get his trade route going. As the army pushing through here, both players are struggling a little bit for gold at the moment. But this is where this sort of upgrade, this technology, is going to be really nice for TheRapl. He's going to get some free Myrmidon, which isn't really a lot of resources, but every little bit is going to help out as another economic guild on the front going up. Villagers over here going down to TheRapl's hoplites. The town center will pick off these hoplites eventually, but at champion, you know, these things do tank quite a bit. Also going after llama caravans. He does manage to snipe that one there as well. TheRapl is all over El Matador at the moment, but villagers getting taken down. Fortress in the center here needs to be targeted down while these units aren't anywhere. We see some Contarius raids also hitting the villages of TheRapl. Both players' villager count is looking a little bit worse for wear as the hoplites into the main base here, targeting down main base villagers. I imagine both players have got all of their upgrades in. Yes, they do. But even up onto this position, Contarius are raiding the villagers on this town center. Both players are in a really tough position for the time being. As the hoplites come through, they will deal with the Contarius over here. TheRapl, he is losing a lot. And he loses that fortress here. I'd love to see a palace coming in onto this position as El Matador's multitasking is seemingly working out wonderfully for him at the moment. As the Odysseus going to go down with the units pushing forward. Does he have? He does have Celerity, and he does have Mythic Rejuvenation. So these Dryads are packing an absolute punch. The next move here for El Matador to find a real significant advantage is to get himself up to 125 favor. Might seem like a lot, because he does have to build, probably will have to build some heroes along the way. But getting that third Hesperidge tree out is gigantic, because it means 15 Dryads, and 15 Dryads really packing a punch. I've done some cost analysis on these sort of Dryads, and what their population is actually effectively at is around 3 population. A little bit more than 3 population. They're beating out the champion Hoplite, for example, fully upgraded. So, well, with maybe not beating out the, sorry, 6 population is beating out 3 population of Hoplite. Maybe if the Phobos' Spear of Panic is in, it's a little bit of a different story. I'm not sure. But definitely against Athena, it's a way to go. So Kontara is continuing to get these raids on these villages. TheRapl is going to be super frustrated at this. He's got such good walls at the top, but they're kind of broken down by him having to chop the trees down. Whereas El Matador, he's putting up the walls. I imagine he's going to get himself the upgrades fairly shortly here. The trade rack can get targeted down as well. Got a comment here from Sammy Shimmers. I've been watching a lot of your strategy videos, and finally, first round of the Titan difficulty beaten last night. Let's go, Sammy. Let's go. Next on the agenda is going to be that extreme AI. How you guys going against the AI in the skirmishes? Let me know in the comment section, hey? I want to see your progress. Arcus coming through, sniping down Hoplite, sniping down everything over here. Villagers on this temple getting a lot of favor income now. He's got 11 there. But still, both players, they're struggling for resources. You can see only 11 trade caravans. There is no gold. Wait, there is a little bit of gold. This is what I'm talking about. El Matador with this gold mine coming in. This is really keeping him in this game. As we see face of the Gorgon coming through, this increases the range of those Medusa and increases that, or reduces that recharge time on the special. So it becomes very, very effective. Also kind of gets a little bit of a makeover, does it? As the Kontara is swinging through here, going to look to pick off some villages. Can El Matador's raids really get him back into this game? It looks like they can. I want to see like two more oracles just getting built here. That's going to get that favor income going up by quite a bit. At the moment, it's only 8 per minute. You can probably go up to about 15, 16 per minute. And then all of a sudden, in 5 minutes, he's going to be 6, 7 minutes, he's going to be very, very close to getting that next tree and having a big advantage. Now, obviously here, TheRapl does have Bellerophon. Bellerophon's really good. TheRapl does have Myrmidon, so he can't really just rely on it. He's going to have to be taking down fortresses and preventing them from kind of coming up all across the map. But nonetheless, we're seeing some towers coming up on the front here. Personally, even with the tower buff, towers aren't the thing. Just keep building palaces, especially when you have this relic. Got Svadalfari's Sledge. The palace is still better than the tower. Maybe not per cost. Maybe per cost. I'm actually not sure. Someone do the math on that for me, please. What's better? A guard tower? 2 guard towers? How much do these cost? 150, 100. 250. It's pretty close. Nonetheless. Dryads getting taken out over here as El Matador still splitting his army up, still going for all of these raids, still getting very, very good value here as TheRapl is saying, you know what, I've had enough of this. Give me Secrets of the Titan. He's getting towers up in his main base. He's going to have crenellations through. Now, at the moment, 6 damage, 12 damage per second. This will go up by a fair margin here once he gets guard towers. But that should be a nice help for him to survive against all these Kontarius raids. As the Dryads to take down the fortress here. Another big, big blow to TheRapl's Myrmidon production. He's got 2 left at the moment, so he's got to be careful where he's placing them. As the Kontarius coming up over here, TheRapl does manage to get some nice snipes onto this position. Do we see any sort of siege coming in here from El Matador? No. Wait. Surely there's more than 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's literally only 5 llama caravans out for El Matador at the moment. He does have 858 gold here that he can send some citizens over and grab. But El Matador, I think he's actually in a big trouble. He's in trouble at the moment. Sure, he can make dryads for free. He's got infinite wood. But no gold income at the moment and losing units. This is going to be tough. TheRapl, he's got 23 donkey caravans. So that's a fairly sizable amount. But almost El Matador has to fight here. Sniping down that Bellerophon is going to be huge. Heracles also going down. TheRapl says, got to pull back. Don't have the gold to support this. These late game fights are so intricate because, you know, if you take a really bad fight and you don't have any gold income, you just lose. El Matador has stopped llama caravan production. Is he just trading? I think he is. He might just be trading. I don't think it's worth it. He's got to get those llama caravans going. He's got 4 markets to produce from at the moment. Hoplites coming over to try and deal with this position. Still no guard towers in. We see iron armor to come through as well. Getting some more of these guys out. He's not actually auto-queuing it. Wait, maybe he is. I can't tell. Maybe neither player is. No, TheRapl is definitely auto-queuing him. El Matador is not. There's El Matador pulling back. Got a couple of dryads to come through as well. El Matador still sitting at full population. We've still got that Siege of the Titans tag just wishing to be coming through here as the hoplites get cleaned up. The Arcus can push forward, get some more damage. The walls just coming in all over the place for TheRapl. 32 minutes into this game. But TheRapl, like, he's not wanting to fight. We see the Contarius charging in here again. He's going to continuously hit this trade route. This is the advantage. I think TheRapl might actually need to consider just building some Prodromus here just so he can keep up with these Contarius. They're 6.3 speed. There's a relic over here that's been missed the entirety of the game, which would speed these up even more, but because it's not there, the Prodromus will be enough. But TheRapl to sort of re-tech into that's just a lot of resources at the moment. Still no siege coming through for El Matador. I just want to see like 1 or 2 fire siphons pushing this position here. Because, you know, you get a villager in, you wall this, the fire siphon hits the town center, and all of a sudden TheRapl is going to have to fight. But now it's 20 llama caravans. The actual trade route here for El Matador also, he needs to get those... that Lush in. Look at these, 5.2 speed. As soon as he's off it, drops down to 4.6 speed. It's only for a little bit of the route there, so it's not the biggest of deals, but every little bit matters. 16 gold in the bank. Prodromus don't need lion upgrades versus Contarius, really? I would actually assume that Contarius would win against naked, well, fully naked Prodromus, but maybe I'm wrong. As the Bellerophon charging forward. That's going to get taken down very, very quickly here. A big counter to a Bellerophon is always going to be the cavalry because they're so quick, they can chase it down. The Arcus as well should be pretty good. They are missing ever so slightly there as Bellerophon gets out. Fire Siphon getting pushed back as some Dryads coming through to get the damage done. We finally see the Fire Siphon in, but TheRapl very quick to act there. Going to be able to almost take that one out. And roll onto this position. Villagers going down over here. Hoplites getting some good damage done. There's the Peltas getting some more damage onto the champion Arcus over here. Nice Siphon still getting some damage through. We're seeing it starting to move to the left now to try and push forward yet again. Do we see any more? No, it's going to be Fanatics. TheRapl here, he's almost got the resources for his Titan Gate. What did he buy? What did he throw down? He must have thrown down a fortress. There it is. Barely preventing it. I want to see the Titan. Atari is continuing to just charge in here. Dead Fire Siphon on this position as the Gontarius charging in to take down even more villagers, but TheRapl reacting quickly. The Hoplites are where? They're now deciding to go after El Matador. These villagers, not these villagers, but this trade route is still kind of out in the open. I wouldn't mind seeing like another wall, to be honest, to protect them. But the town center now under attack. Arcusol on this position needs to move over here and actually defend this, because this town center probably not going to survive. It's the Hoplites tearing this down. Oop, they don't actually tear down the correct wall though. The villagers turning around to repair this one back up. Do we see any reaction army-wise to get over there? Not just yet. That's the Myrmidon. See, this is the thing with this technology, Argive Patronage. It is really helping TheRapl, don't get me wrong. But you can't think about this technology as one Myrmidon every 60 seconds. It's not, because you're going to be at full population for the majority of the late game. And then when you're not at full population, it's going to pop the units out, and then you have to wait 60 seconds for it to come back again. So it's kind of like, it's not, it is good, don't get me wrong, but it's not a technology which it's like resource trickle. You can't think about it that way. Whole bunch of villagers getting cleaned up over here. As the villagers now pushing forward. El Matador, a little bit of a lull here in his reactions. As this is now going to be the opportunity which TheRapl has been waiting for the majority of this game. We do see a destroyer to come in to potentially try and deny the town center, but the Hoplites are already there to snipe that one down before it can get any value here. And El Matador looks like, I mean, he's still trying to do stuff. He's still trying to pick off the fortresses and get damage done, but seems like he has fallen a little bit asleep at the wheel. He's got 2,000 gold in the bank. He's lost manners as well. Needs to get those back. And this is, you know, this is the story of Age of Mythology late game. Through and through, in my opinion. It's whoever loses concentration loses the game. Although, you know, El Matador might be able to take this town center down. If TheRapl doesn't get back and defend, he might find that it's a bit of a trouble. Thracian Horse is actually coming in as now TheRapl, he's got some stables up. He's got himself medium cavalry as well. He might actually be able to make himself a few prodromus here, if that's what he wants. He's now got the town center. He's got pressure everywhere. He's going to be able to go after the main base. There are some guard towers here to defend this, as the Hesperus trees going to be building some units out as well. And there we go. Mr. TheRapl has decided it's time for a Titan. The Titan gets thrown down. Marcus continuing to kite over onto this position. But TheRapl has got all the gold in the world now. He's now got 60 trade caravans. So he is going to be completely fine for gold. He's got the town center, so he's got completely fine for population. And it looks like TheRapl has found himself a significant enough advantage, though the town center over here looks like it's going to go down. It's very, very close. You see a destroyer here as well, getting huge damage done. 900 HP remaining. This is what El Matador needs to keep himself in the game. Restoration will actually heal that town center back up. And unfortunately for El Matador, he's not quite able to take that position down. But what else can you do? And at this point now, TheRapl is saying, guys, look at all my fortresses. He's just having fun at this moment. He's got 12. You have a max of 15. He's got 12. Fortresses everywhere, just controlling positions all over the map. Palace goes down, and El Matador's chances at winning this game are ever so slightly fading to 0. Titan 77, 75 seconds, 70 seconds away, 1 minute away. And I mean, these hoplites, the Fnatic, I would say, Fnatic versus Merman, both players are making their unique units, so it's not like it's a big problem here. How many does he? He's got 15. He's placed them. He's hit the limit. Everyone hits the limit. He doesn't quite get him up though, so it doesn't count. But TheRapl in 40 minutes does manage to fend off El Matador's constant multitasking, attacks, and everything. It was a close one. El Matador almost managed to break through. I feel like he had the opportunity here. He fell asleep at the wheel, lost this town center. The game was in the balance. If he'd come over and defended this town center, he probably gets to continue in this game. And he gets to continue putting pressure onto this trade route because this is open. Come in, break down this wall. Sure, it's 1,675 HP, but you break down this wall with a bunch of Gontarius. You come through with a citizen or something, put some walls in yourself so that TheRapl can't just put his own wall down. And then all of a sudden, this trade route is in a lot of trouble. And all of a sudden, the resources in TheRapl's bank just disappear. And same too for TheRapl pushing it over onto this side. I mean, this is a little bit, it's not really defended either, but TheRapl could have come in onto this spot with a whole bunch of hoplites or Hippias or basically anything and just sat here and picked off a bunch of trade caravans for El Matador, but did not go for it. Nonetheless, a well-played game here. Let's check out the post-game and see if this can tell us anything. I mean, units killed, units lost. TheRapl in the front, but El Matador 234 villagers killed here. If we move over onto the all resources count, it's very close. You see how close it is. And this is the tale, man. This is the story of this game. Very, 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 very close. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.